How's it going, everyone? You guys have seen us cover these digital deals quite a lot recently, but I'm back once again to cover the physical deals because I know a lot of you guys are all about your physical game deals these days, and I've got you covered on that. And most of these are going to come from Woot.com summer sale, but there's also a great deal at Best Buy that I'd be remiss if I don't cover. A game that most of you guys own, but let's get started with it right off the top. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is down to $19.99. Yes, this game launched 3 years ago at $70. It is now down to $20. And to me, this was one of the first games that really showcased the technical prowess of the PS5. I get it that we had, I believe, Returnal before this, obviously the Demon Souls remake, but Ratchet Rift Apart I thought was just outstanding in a lot of areas. The game itself, the shortcoming, obviously, you could point towards the length of the game. You could legit get the Platinum Trophy in this game in like 12 to 14 hours. It's a Ratchet title. Like, Ratchet games are never gonna be 100-hour experiences, even 30-hour experiences. I mean, there's some replayability here and there, I get that, but I loved Rift Apart. And you guys know how I feel about games these days. Not everything needs to be 30, 40 hours, but I also get $70 for a 12-hour game. That's gonna be a little bit of a hard sell to a lot of people, and I love me my Ratchet and Clank titles. Love the introduction of Rivet as well. Thought she added a new layer to the story. I just had a great time with this game. I mean, it's unfortunate. I get what the reasoning is. Insomniac is just gonna do like a Ratchet game every decade while they just pump out Marvel game after Marvel game. Look, I get the sales numbers of Marvel's Spider-Man, Marvel's Wolverine is gonna do huge numbers. Ratchet just isn't gonna pull that kind of numbers. I still find it absolutely depressing, and I will be on my island playing my Ratchet games and still playing those Marvel titles, but man, I wish we could get a little bit more consistently. At least give us a Ratchet Future collection. Like, come on now, I've been asking for this forever, but yeah, there you go with that. Diatribe over. And now let's move on to Woot.com, as there's a lot of great deals available. The PS5 release of The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3 and The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 4, the Deluxe Edition, is on sale for $45. This came out at $70, so this is a sizable discount. And guys, the Legend of Heroes titles that are published by NIS, they tend to go out of stock, and then they get juiced up in price quite a bit. Look at it, Trails into Reverie and a lot of the other games, they just get super expensive. Trails into Azure and Trails from Zero also are super expensive now, so I imagine that this is going to be sold for a while. Once it's out of print, it's like gone forever, and if you want a physical copy, you're gonna have to pay a penny. Reverie, like I said, is quite expensive as well. This gets you Cold Steel 3 and 4. Obviously, you should play Cold Steel 1 and 2 prior to 3 and 4. 3 does start kind of a new arc, but still, same main character, and absolutely you should play Cold Steel 1 and 2. Cold Steel 3 and 4 I thought were really good, and obviously I'm a Legend of Heroes nut hugger these days, one of my favorite franchises in all of gaming, and I recommend every JRPG fan to get into the games, but yeah, check that out. Next up, we got SMT V Vengeance. A standard edition is $35. Not really my cup of tea. Like, I just didn't get into this game as much as everybody else, and you know, SMT, the numbered entries really just usually aren't my cup of tea, but if you like your demon collecting titles with a little bit of a darker ambiance, you'll have a good time with it. $35 for a recent release like this is also quite good. Skull and Bones is $15. Just want to give that a mention because I think it's absolutely comical that it's $15. It's Ubisoft being Ubisoft, live service nonsense, but you know, I mean, live service can work, but they're just milking games like these left and right. And then not only do you have, you know, $70 live service games, you have crazy, you know, special editions and whatnot, but, you know, the very much Ubisoft has become, as far as perception goes, one of the less favored publishers these days, but not to go on a rant on them, there you go with that. Fate Samurai Remnant is $30. Absolutely love this game back in 2023, one of my more underrated games of 2023, quite possibly, in my opinion, the most underrated game of 2023. I was shocked by how much I enjoyed this game, and I'm not a huge Fate fan. You know, I want to make it through the Fate Stay Night visual novel, which just got re-released on PC. Want to watch a couple of the animes. I watched Fate Stay Night growing up, but my affinity towards Fate is pretty much non-existent as an IP. Played Fate Samurai Remnant, really was captivated by the setting. That Edo Japan period is always going to draw me in. Love the game, soundtrack is great. The main tandem I think is awesome of Iori and Saber, and the whole narrative unfolding, yes, it does get a little bit wild. especially towards the end, but I still really enjoyed the game, and the gameplay is super flashy. It's that fast-paced action gameplay that Musou games are kind of known for, but really had a great time with it, and I thought Tecmo Koei did a good job with this one. $30 for that is quite good. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is $25. I mean, I've been pretty vocal about the fact that I believe that currently this is Game of the Year, or at the very least, it is in the mix. There's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, there's Stellar Blade, there's Wukong, there's, you know, so many games in the mix, and there's so many games coming out. I'm sure Astrobot is going to be in the mix. I'm sure maybe Space Marine 2 is going to be in the mix. There's a lot of high-quality games coming out, but to me, Infinite Wealth, as a longtime fan of the RGG titles, was just a culmination of so much great work from the Kazuma Kiryu arc of games, and then also Ichiban Kasuga is an awesome character. And just seeing both of their stories intertwined was a phenomenal thing, and so much content, and yes, it's overwhelming to an extent until you realize that you can pick and choose what content you do in the game, and the main story is going to be something that a lot of people are just going to focus on that, and hey, no sweat about that at all. The main story is great, and you'll get your money's worth just going through that, but then if you want to tackle all of the additional content, oh, you are definitely going to get your money's worth. $25 on that is great. Octopath Traveler 2, $25 on that. Excellent deal for Octopath Traveler 2. You know, a lot of people do like to complain about the lack of Square Enix turn-based JRPGs, particularly the lack of Final Fantasy turn-based titles, and yes, I want a turn-based Final Fantasy game, a new one that is, but you know, Square Enix is putting out Octopath Traveler, and Octopath Traveler 2 was a significant leap up from the first game, and the fact it's down to $24.99. Bear in mind, it has been holding up in price, but it's only 18 months old. It's not that old, but yeah, $25 for that is great. Definitely would recommend that. Granblue Fantasy Relink, the PS5 Deluxe Edition, which was $100, is down to $40. That is an excellent deal. Strong recommendation there. Really enjoyed the game itself. Obviously, narratively, it is kind of all over the place, but you know, if you're not a longtime Granblue fan, but it does a good job of being a worthwhile action JRPG. Great visual style as well, just had a really good time with it, and a lot of replayability. $40 for that is quite good, and this deluxe edition will get you an art book, soundtrack CD, set of 5 postcards, and some in-game DLC as well. RoboCop Rogue City is $25, pretty decent deal on that, and then finally, do want to give a shout to Prince of Persia The Lost Crown, which is down to $14.99, excellent deal for Prince of Persia The Lost Crown, would highly recommend that. That is for a PS4 copy of the game, but you'll upgrade it to the PS5 version. Really enjoyed the game. I mean, I crap on Ubisoft all the time, but as a Metroidvania, I thought Lost Crown was damn good, and really did enjoy that. There is some story DLC coming out, so keep that in mind. You're not getting the entire experience here, but yeah, it was a satisfying experience just for the base game. That is gonna do it for me. Again, a lot of great deals available, and I know a lot of you guys these days are really flocking towards your physical game releases, which that is totally fine. Just a lot of good stuff across the board, so definitely check it out. Links to all of them in the description box below. That's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.